The life you are about to experience is that of a crime boss. Right now, you are just a level 1 member. 4 o'clock in the morning. You wake up from your sleep. What you reach for is not a weapon, but a stiff bristled brush. Your job is to scrub the toilets and polish the boss's black sedan until it gleams like a mirror, then run to the store to buy cigarettes for the senior members. You are not yet a gang member, just a servant. The senior members look right through you. In their eyes, you are nothing more than free labor. You are not a single cent, and share a room with 5 other men. You are starving, exhausted, and aching all over, yet you never dare to complain. You simply listen, keep your head down, and quietly wait for the chance to prove your worth. You are a smart man. Before long, you rise to become a junior captain. No more mopping floors or scrubbing walls. Your new job is simple: make money. You run card games, clear out warehouses, and head to construction sites to oversee the use of your gang's trucks. If a rival gang dares to sell on your turf, you drive them out. You begin to feel like you carry some weight. You buy a sharp suit, wear sunglasses even at night, and have a crew of young guys ready to follow your every order. But the rules are clear. The money you earn doesn't really belong to you. Every take, you must hand over a large sum of cash to the senior bosses above you. That's the rule. It's a tax. If you make $5,000, their cut must be paid in full, not a penny short. Even pocketing $1 is considered a betrayal of the family, and traitors will be punished. You start earning income, but you also become a marked man. The police know your face. Whenever trouble breaks out, you are always the one who gets arrested. The bosses, meanwhile, sit comfortably at home. Time flies. You no longer have to hustle on the streets. Through your own abilities, you've risen to the rank of a corps lieutenant. Perhaps you served 3 years in prison, sitting in a cold cell, keeping your mouth shut, never revealing so much as a single word to the police. Proving your loyalty through action. Now, you are a mentor to the new recruits, their senior brother. You teach them the rules of the gang, how to greet with the proper gesture, how to intimidate a shopkeeper without raising your voice. The level 2-foot soldiers hand their money up to you. You count it, take your share, and pass the rest up the chain. You now have your own territory? Perhaps a row of bars, or a few gambling dens. You become a manager, but you must still tread carefully. You are still a member of the gang. If a rival gang encroaches on your turf, the boss won't call a lawyer, he'll call you. You must make sure everyone knows who truly rules this place. You grab an iron rod, rally your toughest men, and go out to face them. You've earned respect, but you still have to handle the dirty work that can't see the light of day. Then you become the gang's underboss, assisting the captain who oversees the corps members. No more brawling in back alleys. Instead, you work from an office, trading the baseball bat for a laptop. You finally understand that this so-called family is, at its core, a business. You manage various friends' companies, perhaps a freight company, or a scrap processing firm. To outsiders, these look like legitimate businesses, only you know they are merely fronts for laundering the gang's dirty money. You also handle logistics. When the boss needs to attend a funeral, you plan the route, arrange the armored vehicles, and position the bodyguards. If everything goes smoothly, no one will even notice you were there. But if the boss is late, the fault falls entirely on you. You carry 2 phones at all times, one for legitimate business, one for gang affairs, and you never mix them up. You are the central force holding the entire gang together. Through sheer ability, you've risen to Deputy Director of Headquarters, overseeing the entire gang's operations, managing a team of lawyers. When a subordinate is arrested, you remain calm. You simply pick up the phone and send the legal team to the station to get them out. You are also the gang's cleaner, but not of bodies. You clean up secrets. You burn critical documents, wipe computer data, and ensure the police can never find a single thread leading back to the boss. You stand on the balcony of a high-rise apartment, looking out over the entire city, a sea of light stretching in every direction. You point toward the west side of the city and say, "That's the next one." You have finally crossed into the inner circle of the gang's leadership. You are now the second-in-command's right hand. The second-in-command is the number 2 figure in the entire gang, overseeing all the gang's conflicts and operations. And you are his right-hand man. You now control an entire district with 5 or 6 squads reporting to you. They hand their earnings up to you, and you pass it on to the second-in-command. Your core mission is to expand the gang's power and reach. You study the map and set your sights on a port city controlled by a weaker gang. But you are no longer the reckless young man who once relied only on brute force. You now have far shrewder methods. You don't send men carrying clubs. You send businessmen. You buy out the rival gangs' venues, acquire their debts, apply steady pressure, and cut off their income. Once they have nowhere left to turn, you extend an invitation to meet. You sit across from the rival gang's leader in a quiet tea house, pour him a cup of tea, and say with a smile, "Submit or disappear." Most choose to submit, and just like that, without a single confirmation, their territory is yours. You drive an imported luxury car. The suit on your back costs more than your first car ever did. You hold great power, yet you must still move with caution. The second in command has his eyes fixed on you. He demands absolute loyalty from those beneath him. If you become too beloved or earn too much, he will begin to suspect you of coveting his position. You can stand out, but you must never outshine him. You may be a ruler in your own domain, but you still have a master above you. On the table before you lies a map of the city alongside 3 brand new black pistols, never used in any criminal activity. You have become the gang's operations chief. The time for negotiation has long passed. A brazen rival gang has invaded your territory and killed 2 of your men just yesterday. Now you must strike back. You no longer need to pull the trigger yourself. Your life is far too valuable to risk. Now you hold the power of life and death. You decide the fate of others. 3 young foot soldiers stand before you, visibly nervous. You hand them the guns, then pass them a photograph of a man and tell them that this man is having dinner at a steakhouse on 3rd Street. You say only one thing, go. Don't come back if you fail. They leave without a word. You wait in silence, switching on the police scanner, a radio that lets you listen to all police communications. Soon, a report comes through. Shooting on 3rd Street, all units respond. You glance at your watch. Your men have exactly 3 minutes to get out before the police have the entire area surrounded. Then your phone vibrates. It's the squad leader calling. He speaks in a low voice, "We're trapped. A patrol car is blocking the bridge. You must make a decision instantly. This is a chess game where lives are the stakes." You order them to drive through the subway tunnel. "I'll have an unmarked car waiting on the other side." You immediately call another squad and have them start to brawl at a bar on the other side of the city. It's a classic diversion. The police vehicles turn around to deal with the bar incident. The road instantly clears. Your team successfully escapes. For the next 3 days, you don't close your eyes. Running on black coffee and an endless chain of cigarettes, you keep dispatching squads holding the line street by street. This conflict is brutal. You must be ruthless. If a low-level foot soldier gets caught, you let him go to prison to protect everyone else in the gang. Finally, word comes, the rival gang's boss has fled the city. The war is over. You have won. You walk into the meeting room, and 20 men in expensive suits instantly rise to their feet, bowing deeply, not daring to straighten up until you take your seat. You have become the gang's second in command. The boss is the king, and you are the prime minister, running the gang's day-to-day affairs and every major decision, like the CEO of a multi-million-dollar enterprise. You review the financial reports on the table. The construction crew in the north is behind on payments. The casino in the south is making excuses to hide its true earnings. You tolerate no excuses. You grab the heavy glass ashtray from the table and hurl it against the wall. Then you say calmly, "Handle it, or I'll send someone who can." Everyone frantically picks up their phones to make arrangements. Their fear of you far exceeds their fear of the police. You control all of the gang's finances, deciding which politicians receive donations and which real estate projects get the green light. You oversee thousands of gang members across the country, and your most important duty is to serve as the boss's shield. The police have never stopped watching him, desperately wanting to arrest the gang's top leader, to put him in handcuffs and parade him on the evening news. And you are the barrier standing between him and them, a layer of insulation. If the police find evidence of the gang's crimes, you step forward and tell them, "I did it." You take the fall for everything, walk into the courtroom, and serve 10 years in prison just to keep the boss a free man. You do this without hesitation. It is your duty. Everyone knows you are the gang's chosen one, the heir to the throne. You now have everything: money, power, respect, but you are not yet the boss here. At least, not yet. 20 men kneel on the ground, heads bowed deeply, foreheads pressed to the mats on the floor, not daring to lift their eyes to meet yours. You thought it! You have become the patriarch of the gang, the supreme boss. You now move like a ghost. You never touch the cash from any transaction. Between you and all criminal activities stand layers upon layers of intermediaries. You never need to raise your voice. Your words carry the force of an army. You whisper a single order to your second in command, and 3 days later, an enemy will vanish without a trace. You meet with the leaders of other major gangs, studying the national map, dividing territories as casually as cutting a cake. You decide who will thrive and grow rich and who will have nowhere left to turn. Yet you have never known a moment of true peace. You cannot trust anyone. Even your closest brothers covet your position. The police have formed a dedicated task force with one single objective: to bring you down. You cannot freely stroll through a park, cannot shop at an ordinary grocery store. You could only live inside a heavily walled compound blanketed with surveillance cameras. You have become a prisoner of your own kingdom. There is no retirement in this life. You cannot simply walk away and enjoy a leisurely round of golf. You will remain on this throne until the very last moment of your life. You chose this life, or perhaps this life chose you.